Right, let's check out the Warhammer Sunday preview. We're getting Black Library miniatures for the Soulblight and the Kharadron Overlords. If you like elves with giant cow hats and mutating magic of Tzeentch, then there's a battle box for you. Sorry about the weird lighting. We're getting a ton of Ghurish scenery, we're getting Warcry content, the Centaurian Marshal, the Chaos Legionnaires, and bizarrely, the Warcry Compendium. So we were originally told this would arrive a couple of weeks after Heart of Ghur box set, then we were told it's going to arrive sometime later this year, and we're given all the content for free in PDF form, and now it's arrived in the pre-orders, so cool. This is a couple of weeks after the Heart of Ghur box set, I have no idea what went wrong there. And loads more stuff for Necromunda, Aeronautica Imperialis, and other stuff. Let's go check it out. So to kick things off, we're having a look at two Black Library themed miniatures. Unusually, these are arriving alongside their first books, so people don't know much about these characters. There's an indication they're going to have multiple books. In the Kharadron corner, we have Delaque Flint, starring in the full-length novel The Archanaut's Oath. The self-proclaimed genius has been given an ultimatum by his nemesis. Can the dashing Dwarden overcome terrible storms, grot pirates, and fearsome air beasts to tell the tale? I wonder if we're going to get sky grots at some point. They keep on hinting at them. So they mention he's armed with his custom scattergun and axe skyhook combo, alongside his cutting wit. Then in the Soulblight Gravelords corner we have Caedo Ezekiar, starring in the Hollow King book. Described as a tragic vampire, Caedo's a threat to other heroes with a lethal greatsword and selection of haunted rings. In the book he's on the path of revenge against the forces of chaos. Can he navigate through the web of deceit while remaining bound to his code and obsession for vengeance? Find out by picking up the book. And just to note, the symbol on the skull does remind me of the tube station symbols in London. Next up we have a battle box pitching the cow-hatted Lumineth against Tzeentch. It's magic versus magic, and it's your first chance to pick up the Cenari Enlightener and an updated Curseling. If this sounds like your bag, the Lumineth are getting 5 Venari Bladeboards, 5 Venari Dawn Riders, 10 Venari Orlan Sentinels, and of course the aforementioned character. Whereas the Disciples of Tzeentch are getting the Curseling, 3 Zahngor Enlightened on Discs of Tzeentch, 10 Zahngors, and 20 Kyric Acolytes. The box does also include a campaign booklet with lore and rules, and a 56-page core rules book, token sheet, and war scroll cards for the units. Next up we have the glorious Deathmaster Skaven model, finally released from the Echoes of Doom battle box. They note these ruthless rodents can hide in another Skaven unit before leaping out and attacking with their Weeping Blade. Similarly released from the same box, the Lady of Vines for the Slvaneth is ready to join your tree-laden army. The Lady of Vines can cut down her foes with her massive spear, summon dryads, and is a potent magic user to boot. Then we're on to Ghur! The Krondspine Incarnate is here, creation of pure Ghurish energy which you can add to any army in Age of Sigmar. It's deadly to enemy units and can even devour endless spells. I'm pretty sure the Purple Son of Shyish is blackberry flavoured. That's the one I'd be going for. Then we're on to the Cleansing Aqualift. This amazing piece of scenery reminds me of the Lumineth faction scenery. It's got these brilliant waterfalls falling down, and there'd be some amazing modelling opportunities for anybody that wanted to build up the base and make it even more interesting. Then we have the Megadroth Remains. They really are mega. This is a chunky piece of scenery. God, I use the word chunky a lot. And of course these pieces were previously available in the Realmscape Fondian Strongpoint. Now we're on to Warcry. Huzzah! Right, the Centaurian Marshal is here. Whilst background allies him to the Chaos Legionnaires and Be'lakor, he's an ally that any Chaos Warband can field. Armed with a devastating quartet of gladiatorial weapons, they can join your Slaves to Darkness army for Warhammer Age of Sigmar, and a free war scroll will be released this week. Next we have the aforementioned Chaos Legionnaires, chosen of Be'lakor, and an elite bunch coming in at 8 models rather than the usual 10 or so. They do note, like the Centaurian, they'll also be getting Warhammer Age of Sigmar rules. Free. And we were told these would be arriving in time for Heart of Ghur, which they kind of have. I did a roadmap and I plonked them alongside the box, thinking literally they would arrive with Heart of Ghur, but you know, they're close enough. A couple of weeks later. Then, and I mentioned this in the intro, we've got the Warcry Compendium. This is a bit bizarre. So originally we were told, and I covered this in a video and I showed the article, they said this will arrive a couple of weeks after Heart of Ghur. Then that passage was deleted from the article, and we had a new article which did mention that this would be arriving later in the year, but we were going to get a load of rules for free. Those free rules have arrived, and they are substantial. They greatly mirror the Grand Alliance books that we've had previously, and that is the content that we're seeing in this compendium. So really interesting that this is turning up now, a couple of weeks after the Heart of Ghur box set, so it's hard to quite know what went wrong. I guess it must have been a logistics issue. They must have thought they weren't going to get this out, or maybe they had really small numbers, so by releasing the rules for free it was going to cause less of an issue and maybe a few less people would pick this up. But I guess we'll never know. We don't really quite know what happened with Cursed City, and but as I've said before, it's really fab they've released this information for free, and if anything, it's just going to help grow the Warcry community that's out there. I must admit I'm a sucker for a hard copy book to flick through. So now they go on to Warhammer the Horus Heresy Aeronautica Imperialis rulebook. The Aeronautica Imperialis comes to the Age of Darkness. This book provides the complete Aeronautica Imperialis rules, 8 classic scenarios to play through, along with the complete rules for the Legiones Astartes air fleets, the human pilots of the Divisio Aeronautica, and the Legio Custodes, deadly Ares gunship, allowing you to bring dogfights to life in the skies of the Horus Heresy. The book also includes background on the legendary aerial combats that took place during the Horus Heresy, in particular the fall of Vanaheim, plus visual guides to the heraldry of each legion and legion-specific aircraft upgrades for all 18 Space Marine legions. Alongside this, you can also pick up a Vanaheim-themed double-sided gaming board. Next is the Legio Custodes Ares gunship. Armed with Magna Blaze Cannon and Heavy Blaze Cannon, they can do a serious amount of damage at short, medium and long ranges. Even if caught out of position, its high structure value should ensure that it will keep on flying even after the worst of enemy attacks. You'll also be getting some Legiones Astartes aircraft cards, some Divisio Aeronautica aircraft cards, which help you keep track of your models. Now this gloriously horrendous Delaque Spiker is now available. We saw this one a little while ago, but it's part spy, part psyker, all brain. An exclusive hanger-on for Delaque gangs, can use warp-fueled powers to help you dominate the Underhive. The model comes along with a fighter card, and the full rules can be found in the book House of Shadow. Also for Necromunda, you're getting Corpse Grinder weapons set, upgrades for your Corpse Grinder cult, including a range of weapons such as a Savage Harpoon launcher and Rotary Flensing Saw. Finally, for book fans, we're getting a fancy edition of Rogol Dawn, the Emperor's Crusader, Blackstone Fortress Ascensions moving to audiobook, Galskull Prophet of the Wars moving to a French and German edition, Friend of Light's getting a French edition, Lupa First Fallen and Soulslayer are getting German editions, and there's a preview of what's coming to Warhammer Plus. So what are you looking forward to most? Let me know in the comments.